Hello, this is your friend Nitin Kapse. In this video, I'll talk about 7 tips on how to take interview and bonus tip to decide your next job opportunity based on your interview. So please watch this video till end. We have lots of videos and content on how to give interview, but very few tips on taking interview and selecting right candidate for your team. In my 18 years of IT career, I have taken more than 500 plus interviews. I was part of interview panel which was involving interviewing and selecting candidates from various prestigious institutes in India like IIT Delhi, IIT Kharagpur. I was also a part of interview team which was involved in interviewing candidates from various countries like US, countries in Europe and Singapore. I am just trying to highlight my experience of taking interviews which I have summarized here in this video so that you can utilize it for doing right things while taking interviews. I was always serious about taking interviews as it can change someone's career path. Tips provided in this video are useful for both online and offline interviews. I have given my example of big data interviews throughout the tips for better understanding of practical scenarios. So let's begin. Tip number one, relax the interview climate. Be on time with your interview panel to take interview. First, you need to create comfortable environment for interview. Ask him or her relaxing question to start with, like, how is your day going on? How is today's climate? How was his or her breakfast, lunch today? So that it will refresh and calm down anxiety or fear for interviewing. Give introduction of your panel members quickly. You can also add very short introduction of interview position and its requirement, like this is big data position and we have team in India, US, UK. We have total team of 50 members and the interview is for Pune location. Something like that, and it needs to be very short intro about open position. Be ready with the resume of the candidate. Tip number two, master the art of taking out candidates' expertise. At the initial stage of interview for next 5-7 minutes, you need to take out candidate expert area, which may or may not be matching with your open position. If you plan to take interview on technology position, then ask candidate to tell more specific about his technical background in that technology so that it will give you right direction for your interview. If it is management position, then ask candidate to tell more on his management experience handling team of various sizes rather than generic questions like tell me about yourself. When candidate tells about himself, listen him carefully to take out primary keywords from his story. You can also include keywords from his resume. Confused about keywords? Let me give you a big data example. Suppose candidate tells about his background in big data administration. He will use Linux, Spark, Java, Python, Impala, HBase, etc. Note down all these keywords. After noting down all keywords from candidate's point of view, ask few more questions to identify skill sets as per open position requirement. In my case of big data interview, I was asking additional questions like any experience on cloud computing or DevOps or programming languages like Python, Java, Scala, experience on SQL, Linux scripting, etc. In this way, I had a complete list of technologies and its background associated with the candidate. Now it is time to ask candidate to rate himself or herself on those technologies. Suppose 10 is maximum rating and 0 is minimum rating. By following this exercise, you get right direction to ask more relevant questions to candidate as per his expertise and experience area. Tip number 3, right questions, right candidate selection. Interviewer needs to learn art of asking right questions to candidate around his experience, exposure, and expertise based on his comfort level. If you take interview for fresher, we need to come down to the beginner's level. And same goes with more and more experienced people. Your relevant questions around candidate niche helps him to open up during interview. Sometimes interviewer may need to ask questions as per expertise area of candidate but not relevant to your requirements. It is possible to learn and grow new technical skills as per your requirement for your new team member by understanding his passion, inclination, and depth of knowledge about his or her known areas. Tip number 4, use pen and paper. Yes, you need to ask questions where candidate needs to write down solution on paper. If you keep on talking in the interview without providing opportunity of writing something on paper, it will not give you right understanding of that person's skills. Let me give my example. If I take technical interview in big data, I ask candidate few questions to write some small Python program about primary number, Fibonacci series, or SQL query based on some problem statement. This practice gives you right perspective about candidate and his real-time exposure, and at the same time it gives you better feel about his hands-on skills. This is applicable even for management skills where you can ask candidate to draw flowchart diagram, use case diagram, or project planning flow on paper. Tip number 5, listen, and listen. Be ready with resume of candidate at the start of interview. Let candidate talk more, and all interview panel members should go into listen mode. Every member of interview panel should scan resume while candidate talks about his past experiences and answer to those questions. You can cross-check all relevant information provided by candidate whether it is matching with the resume or not. It helps you to check genuine and honest candidate. Your question should be short and small, and it should give more opportunity to the candidate to talk more and more. Tip number 6, prefer candidate for right mindset or technical skills. During interview and while asking questions, you need to judge candidate for his soft skills and mindset like learnability, adaptability, and flexibility. You need to evaluate candidate on his her temperament, calmness, control to answer questions. Is he really helpful to support your team? Is he really documenting his finding? How his overall attitude and body language during interview? How he answers critical questions and shows confidence to solve it? Does he really has appetite to learn new things? I prefer candidate with average communication skills and right mindset over average team player and good skill set. Candidate needs to have good learnability and mindset to grow and support other team members as well. Tip number 7, right interview closure. Before closing interview, ask candidate, do you have any question? It is your time to be interviewed by candidate to gauge his or her next right place to work. Good candidate should come up with quality of couple of questions. Your closure part of interview will also help you to judge candidate's overall mindset interest in joining your team. Bonus tip to interviewee to decide his or her next working place. If you find interview panel and overall interview as per above tips, then think about joining that team. Otherwise, please rethink about your decision to join any such project or team or organization. You can definitely take your interview and panel members' mindset and interview skills to decide your next job opportunity to grow in your career. This is my opinion about joining a new job based on interview. Please provide me your comment about any additional ways to conduct effective interview as per your experience. If you like my tips, please comment, share, and subscribe to my channel Progressive Nitin. Hope these tips will help you to select the right candidate for your team. Thank you for listening.